I come before you on a dreary Thursday. I was going to post about solitude today, and to be sure, I will post on that next Thursday for our Theo Thursday post to kind of wrap up that series on spiritual disciplines. But I come to you kind of on a dreary Thursday because life has been kind of hard lately. Three things have stood out. Number one, had a coffee this morning with a buddy of mine. I talk frequently about accountability, and I love that time that I have with my buddy John. Him and his family have gone through a very challenging last few weeks. A family friend of theirs have a son, 14 years old, who committed suicide. And when I received that text, I couldn't even imagine what that mom and dad were going through. Can't imagine what they're going through right now. I've never met these people, and I don't know if they'll ever see this video, but I just want to extend my condolences and let them know. I know that they're believers, that I am praying that God would provide peace that surpasses all human understanding. And I can't imagine. In fact, I have to confess on this video that brought up a lot of fears for me with the 7-year-old, the 5-year-old, and the 2-year-old. And then, of course, there was the events not far from Hoffer Plastics last Friday afternoon. No HR director, no intern, no mold operator, nobody in the corporate office should have to worry about violence like that occurring. To be honest with you, I spent a lot of time this weekend thinking about that, praying about that. I know there's a lot of thoughts about prayers right now and about how ineffective they quote unquote are, and just going to be bold. I just vehemently disagree with that. As these events have proved, we live in a world where there is evil forces, where there is bad things happening all the time. And I can't imagine ever having something like that happening here. And I know I probably shouldn't even talk about that, but the reality is that it could. The reality is that we live in a fallen world, a world that is messed up. And I'm not going to prescribe what I think is wrong about the world. I'll let you do that. But the point of today's post is, as Paul wrote to the church in Rome, we are to rejoice with those who rejoice. We are to mourn with those who mourn. In the season of winter, we have to mourn. The temptation is to move quickly from that season of mourning because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable sitting at coffee with John this morning and thinking about that fear that every parent, I think, has. It's uncomfortable having the meetings that we've had this week and talking about the precautions that we need to take because of the world that we live in. It's uncomfortable but necessary. Our church family, I love our church. We have this rock solid man that I kind of want to be like. I mean, not kind of, I really would like to be like when I grow up. Went out for a jog a week ago Saturday, and it turned out to be his last jog. I was traveling last week, and I had time to sit and think about that, which is scary. Scripture says that death comes like a thief in the night, but we don't know the time that we have on this planet. As I looked at Facebook, which can sometimes be a bad idea, I saw this man's daughter write about how he was finally whole, W-H-O-L-E, that he had professed that he wasn't afraid to die because he was right with his maker, and he had a hope that would last longer than whatever amount of days he had on this planet. Heavy stuff to think about. Part of the Theo Thursday idea around the post that I create is theological thoughts about the workplace. And I've already talked about mourning, and the reality is that our people, the people that walk into these doors, have fears. They have issues that, as these stories indicate, transcend what we do here. And as leaders, we need to be aware of that. But most importantly, as leaders, we got to be secure enough in ourselves to mourn with those who mourn. It's been a tough couple of weeks. In this world, you will have trouble, Jesus said. But take heart. I've overcome the world, and he did. That's the hope that I have. Because the honest to God truth is that this type of stuff is going to continue to happen. Though spring is eventually around the corner, literally and figuratively, winter will come back. That is the reality of this broken world that we live in. And when it does, I challenge you to mourn with those who mourn.